San Antonio City Manager Cheryl Sculley announces her retirement. The search begins for the next Alamo City administrator. And investigators hint arson caused the deadly San Marcos fire. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Friday, November 30th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. After a 13-year tenure that stabilized the city's finances and pushed forward major projects, but also created controversy over $475,000 in salary and a forceful management style, City Manager Cheryl Sculley says she's retiring. Thursday's announcement creates uncertainty about who will lead day-to-day operations for the nation's seventh largest city after Sculley departs next year, and also changes the contours of the 2019 mayoral race, where her pay, performance, and personality would likely have been major issues. In the moments after Sculley announced her intentions, Mayor Ron Nirenberg echoed what his mayoral predecessors have also said about working with her, formed in his words that Sculley is the best city manager in the country. In addition to that praise, Nirenberg insists that her decision to retire was solely her own. Sculley's decision to leave comes less than a month after San Antonio voters overwhelmingly approved a city charter amendment limiting the salary and tenure of future city managers. And while that amendment, which was promoted by the Firefighters Union, does not apply to Sculley, it was widely seen as a referendum on her compensation and management style, with union leaders depicting her salary as excessive and her style as arrogant, domineering, unaccountable, and far too powerful. The overwhelming majority of voters in favor of reining in the city manager highlights the long-observed rift between everyday residents and a conglomeration of elected officials, business leaders, and community luminaries who have steadfastly stood behind Cheryl Sculley. Less than a day after news that San Antonio City Manager will retire no later than June 30th, 2019. City officials say they don't yet know how they will recruit a successor, but are suggesting they might not have to look very far, with Mayor Ron Nirenberg noting his experience and instinct tell him, in his words, that the best candidates are already local. But when asked if Cheryl Sculley's two top lieutenants, Deputy City Managers Eric Walsh and Peter Zanoni, are frontrunners to replace her, the mayor declined to speculate. While city officials have not ruled out a national search for successors, no matter the breadth of that search, they'll have to deal with ramifications of the newly passed Proposition B that caps city manager pay at 10 times the salary of the lowest paid city employee, currently meaning $312,000, and limits the tenure of future city managers to 8 years. City Council members say while they'll respect the will of voters, they fear Prop B will limit qualified candidates or attract those who view San Antonio as a stepping stone rather than a destination. But City Councilman Greg Brockhouse, a well-known ally of the Firefighters Union and the lone council supporter of Prop B, says Sculley's departure is an opportunity to reevaluate the role of the city manager and how much power that person should wield, noting that he hopes the council will create a new rule that recognizes council members are now paid a higher salary and enjoy longer term limits than in the past, creating a more serious and professional body. And as a result, the balance of power needs to start shifting away from the city manager's office. And today, federal and San Marcos investigators will announce a reward for information leading to the arrest or conviction of those believed to be responsible for a catastrophic apartment fire that killed 5 and severely burned a 6th victim. The reward strongly suggests that officials have concluded someone set the July 20th fire at Iconic Village Apartments, a revelation that would bring even more urgency to an already high-profile investigation authorities have worked on for more than 4 months. Authorities are also expected to reveal more information about how the fire started. The 1970 complex was built when San Marcos didn't require fire sprinklers in new buildings, and current city code does not require such buildings to be retrofitted with sprinklers unless those structures undergo significant renovations. The 222 Ramsey Street apartments are just 2 blocks from the Texas State University campus and were occupied mostly by current and former students of the school. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Friday, November 30th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.